The Patriots signed a wide receiver. Except it was a re-sign. It was an extension to DeVante Parker, their wide receiver one when healthy. Now, DeVante Parker did not have a bad season when he did play. We remember the Ravens game last season where he had a phenomenal game. That was the game Mac Jones actually got hurt in. Mac Jones didn't have a great game. He threw like 3 interceptions in that game. But DeVante Parker did not have a bad season, to say the least. He had 539 yards, 3 touchdowns, but the entire Patriots offense barely had any touchdowns anyway. So compared to the rest of the Patriots offense, he had a pretty good season. So I want to know, is extending DeVante Parker a good idea for the New England Patriots?
Well, I don't like it for the following reason. It's a messaging that says, guess what, fans, Patriot fans, we're not getting DeAndre Hopkins. That's what it says. That's the message that's being sent with this extension. I don't dislike Parker. I did criticize him quite a bit last year, but he was hurt. When he did play, he played pretty well. And I agree that the offensive scheme was a mess last year, so they only had 10 passing plays in the scheme. So, with Bill O'Brien, maybe he's looked at Parker and said, wow, it's going to be really good. And they don't want to pay DeAndre Hopkins, so this is what you're getting. That's how I look at it.
I will say this. DeVante Parker, there's some good to DeVante Parker. Would I take him over Kendrick Bourne? I don't know. I really like Kendrick Bourne. Anytime he was in last year...
He's still with the Patriots.
I know. But what I'm talking about is I don't think it hinders the DeAndre Hopkins opportunity to be signed by the Patriots. I think it restricts you a little bit because you don't have, that much more money to spend. You also signed Juwan Bentley to an extension as well. So the Patriots are doing something that doesn't surprise me at all. They're not going to spend big money on a wide receiver, at least for now. I think anyone in Patriots Nation or anyone who at least looks at the Patriots can see that the Patriots have a wide receiver issue. They've had a wide receiver issue for over a decade. That's just what the case is. They cannot sign or draft wide receivers. Now, they made the big splash a couple years ago, and Bill Belichick spent like $150 million in one day, and that brought in Aguilar, that brought in Bourne, that brought in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Spent a bunch of money. Aguilar's there. Kendrick Bourne was on the bench. You got rid of Jonnu Smith, and Hunter Henry seems at least plausible for the time being, and I think he's been a pretty good piece for the Patriots without Gronk. I don't think Asiasi or any of those other drafted tight ends were any good.
Yeah, they weren't good.
So I will say that the re-sign, or I guess the extension of DeVante Parker makes sense. But it also puts into perspective maybe Bill Belichick's ideology of what happened. When Tom Brady first came into the league, it was very Bill Belichick-centric. It was his offense. It was a lot of run, a lot of play. It wasn't really Brady taking over the offense. Heavy defense and a run game. That's what the early Patriots offense was all about. Then when Brady finally started to get going, 2006, 2007, when Brady started to really get going, and especially when Brady hit, his 30s.
He got going sooner than that. He won 3 Super Bowls before then.
But I'm saying I'm saying Belichick's offense back in the early 2000s was run game and defense. That's what the Patriot way was.
They made the first year Brady was a game manager. They didn't let him really do it.
I think for a large part of Brady's career, early career, he was a game manager.
Maybe the second year too, but after that,
it wasn't until 2005 where he broke 4,000 yards. So 2005, 2006 is when Brady really started to get going, where the offense transitioned.
They threw the ball a lot in the playoffs in 2000. In the 2 Super Bowls after the first one.
They did because
they threw the ball a lot in those playoff games.
What I'm saying is that when Brady finally took over and said, "This is how we're gonna play," Brady started to throw a lot more in the totality of look in his early 40s with the Bucs. He was breaking records, throwing it over 700 times per season. He threw 733 passes at age 45. That's absurd. But when Brady started to throw 500, 600 times per season, Belichick really couldn't do much to the offense. He didn't really have a full grasp on the concept of the offense.
No, he handed it off to Josh McDaniel.
It was Josh McDaniels and Brady. Now with Josh McDaniels gone, now with Brady gone, Belichick is saying, this is how we're going to do it now. this is how, I'm going to make this offense. This is my offensive scheme.
Well, I think that may have been true last year, but now he got burned badly by it. Now he's gone to Bill O'Brien. I think it's Bill O'Brien is going to have the say. I think Belichick is going to stay away from the offense.
But the signing of DeVante Parker means that Belichick, once again, even though we heard the video with the Cardinals, he respects the hell out of DeAndre Hopkins, thinks he's one of the best receivers in the league right now. But he won't sign big money. That's something that Bill Belichick has done throughout his entire coaching career. He doesn't sign massive deals to players. I think the most shocking thing besides the recent offseason was he signed Stephon Gilmore to like a $25-30 million contract or something. It was a big contract, a big extension.
$60 million contract.
It was a 2 year, $60 million.
I think it was a 4 year, 3 or 4 year, and it was around $60 million bucks.
Yeah, I would that was an absolute anomaly for Bill Belichick to sign.
It was a smart move. He paid dividends.
I agree. It paid dividends.
He made some big plays during his time with the Patriots.
He was Defensive Player of the Year one year, recently.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it's very uncharacteristic of Belichick to spend big money. Now, I do think the Patriots will still be in the running up until the very end because I think Bill Belichick is smart enough to realize that the Patriots have a big issue, a gaping hole in the wide receiver core. Because I think his name is Bill Barnwell. I think he made this list of surrounding cast, so wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. Guess what the Patriots were ranked?
For which one?
For just the core group of players. So running backs, skill players, running backs, tight ends, receivers, as a unit, skill player unit.
1 to 32.
1 to 32. What were the Patriots ranked?
By this guy, Bill. What's his name?
I think his name is Bill Barnwell.
Barnwell. Okay. Well, I don't know who he is, but he probably ranked him pretty low.
He's a sports writer for ESPN.
27.
Very close. 26th. 26th. Which
I think they're better than that.
You think they're better than that?
I do.
They're slow. They have a speedster named Tyquan Thornton who isn't that great at the moment. I'm not saying he will be. And also, what's crazy is I don't have the number here, but DeVante Parker in separation has been ranked like dead last the past 3 years. He can't separate.
Oh.
And that's the reason why Brady left. The receivers couldn't separate. He was yelling at his receivers, somebody get open. 2019, we saw what 2019 looked like for the Patriots. The Patriots looked terrible. And the context, I love context. The first 8 games where the Patriots had a dominating defense, they played horrible teams. The week 9, I remember it vividly. Week 9 against the Ravens, Lamar Jackson had a phenomenal game. This is when Lamar Jackson was tearing up the league. This was the unanimous MVP year. The Patriots couldn't stop him. They had zero chance of stopping him. I think the Ravens win like 37-24, something like that. They couldn't stop Lamar Jackson. And so, 2019 did not look good for Brady and this Patriots defense. And so what I'm saying is that this team is slow. It can't separate. Getting DeAndre Hopkins at least allows someone to allows a defense to double team one of your receivers. So maybe a DeVante Parker can get open. Maybe a Kendrick Bourne can get open. Tyquan Thornton has a chance to get open because you have to double a true wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. So I don't think it hinders it. I think it just I think it's going to be slightly more difficult, but I still think the Patriots will be all into going down to the 11th hour, 59th minute, 59th second in DeAndre Hopkins to try to hopefully sign him to the Patriots. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.